Hello, good evening, and welcome to prayer time. Wish this this Friday is coming up here. Kind of get to the end of the week. We're what 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. What a interesting how much this year's flown by. So, I wanted just to kind of start off here, and I know there's a lot of talk. Howdy, Wayne. There's a lot of talk about the idea of gratitude in the month of November, and I think it's a beautiful idea to be present and aware of gratitude, around you, gratitude in things that you see. Good evening, Miss Gina. But yet, I think there's also there's a call for us to expand, our possibility. You know, One of the things that I love to do is to do vision boards, and I recommend people to do vision boards because they're worth their weight in gold. But what they are is you're creating a vision for what you want to see for this next calendar year. And everybody likes to wait to that very last second and start planting those seeds and say, this is what I want to do here, or this is what I'm thinking of. But yet there's this opportunity for us to think in a much bigger perspective. Think about, what is it that we are trying to do? What is our vision of who we want to be? In my case, I come to the question, what do I want my ministry to be? What do I want my practitionership to be? What do I want my group on Facebook to be? What do I want that vision to be? What is my higher calling? My watch that I look at from high? What is my motivation for it? So the reason I kind of said that is because when we're tapping into this idea of a vision board, it requires us to have a vision. It requires a tapping in to that universal mind. We call it the unification step. It's that initial vision of what we want to see and be able to see that seed we want to plant, be able to not only, we have to harvest and put water and tend to that soil, but, we have to have that vision of what we want it to be first and foremost. So, it's really kind of important, when we're talking about affirmative prayer, a prayer that we do, that we really ground ourselves in both. Yes, I do agree with you. Visioning is great for that. Uh, it's really important that we ground ourselves specifically in those first two steps of prayer, because that's where the power is. We're recognizing the presence of God that is around us. We're having that moment of initial gratitude because we're recognizing spirit. We're recognizing all these different manifestations that are around us. And then that unification, we're tapping into that universal mind and allowing that to power our prayer. It is that fuel for the locomotive that gets us to the end. And if we don't have any strength behind it or any recognition, it's like driving a car on E. There's You can get to your destination, but you're pushing it. You're waiting to get more fuel in the gas tank, and you're pushing it. You're pushing it. And you're like, oh, can I get it here? Can I get here? So I was really kind of thinking about that. And if you guys have never been here before, I do welcome you. This is prayer time. My name is Joe. I am a licensed practitioner of science of mind teaching. I kind of went on a tangent here to start here, but I think it's really kind of important just to talk about where we're going to root this prayer in tonight, because I think it's important to have that foundation when we're doing something as spiritual, such a spiritual practice as holding affirmative prayer. But what I was going to get into here is I found this beautiful reading today, and everybody knows that I love my Ernest Holmes textbook. I also my favorite books tend to be ones that are a little more off the beaten path. But this is in Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success. And I remember this book because this was my first class I had to take, which is called Essential Ernest. And this was the first book that was assigned to me, was this one. So anyway, the reading for today is called Ideas of the Infinite. So this is the reading for today. Suppose that we wish to draw from the universal mind some definite idea, some guidance, some information, some leading. How are we going to do this? First, we must be convinced that we can do it. Where do all the inventions come from? Where does Edison get his information about electricity? Where, if not direct from the mind of the universe? Everything that has ever come into the race comes direct from the mind. There's nothing else it could come from. Every invention is but a discovery of something that already is, although we may not have seen it. Where does the harmony of music come from? Where could it originate except in the mind? Does not a great musician listen and hear something that we do not hear? His or her ear is attuned to harmony, and they may catch it straight from life itself and interprets it to the world. But we are surrounded by the music of the spheres, but few of us ever catch the sound. We are so filled with trouble that the divine melody is never heard. If we could see, if we could hear, if we could understand, if we could only realize the presence of all, what could we not do? When a great thought springs in the mind of an individual, when a great poem is written, when a great work of art is wrought by some receptive artist, it is simply a sign that the veil is thinned between he has caught a glimpse of reality. But that is the reading here from today. But, I just kind of want to get into just real quick, what is that talking about? Gina hit it right on there. It's talking about the ether is that one mind. It's that connection. But, I would say it's also, the key word in that I heard in that last paragraph is that veil. When we take off that veil from this world of form, this world of man, of earth that we have in front of us, and we connect to spirit through meditation, through music, through spiritual practice, we're thinning that veil and connecting us. We're connecting through the love that's in our heart. We're connecting through our ears, through the music that we hear, the sounds that we hear, the animals that we see with our eyes, or the beautiful trees and foliage. There's these opportunities that are there for us to connect deeper within. I think it's really just important as we get into this holiday season. The easy thing is to take the gratitude step and to be there and to say things that you're grateful for. But it's much deeper to be unified with that gratitude and to root yourself in that energy, to allow yourself to be that energy moving forward. Be that energy moving forward through that holiday season, through that new year, to that new vision, to where you're seeing what you hope to be, that vision. It starts with that planting that foundation. And that foundation is started, that, if you will, by that connection. It started by taking that, going away from that world of form into that world of spirit, to that connection of what we would call the Christ consciousness, moving our consciousness above and beyond, looking from a high, looking from that high view. So that is our reading for today. And I didn't mention it because I'm a silly goose here today. But if you have anything that you are wanting us to hold in prayer, just a reminder, we do have practitioners and ministers that do answer that email address, and that we hold prayers in consciousness. So, it's something that we take very, very seriously here at the network. And if you do like what we're doing, there is a link at ntmedia.org to donate. Helps go towards the programming that we have here, which is just, beautiful in itself. So we're going to go ahead and get into prayer here, because I kind of ran over a little bit on time here. But you know what? We're going to still make it. It's going to be a beautiful prayer, and I have faith in it today. So, what I always like to do is just kind of stretch out, get into a good space here. Just kind of get in this presence that we're talking about. Grab a drink of water here. Take a deep breath and be in this. on this beautiful evening, I just see just this light that shines in this beautiful room, in this studio. It shines when I walk outside. It shines when I'm walking to my car. It shines no matter where I am on this planet. It shines for every single person listening to this prayer. There's this light that shines. It shines from our eyes. It's this energy. It's this presence of spirit. It exists in all human beings. It exists in the trees and in the mountains that we see, the bright sun, the clouds. It exists in this beautiful evening, this cool breeze that we have. Perhaps some of these recipients of this prayer are in an area that has snow right now, or wind, or rain. There's still that presence of spirit that's there. For the reality is that that presence that exists, it exists in all things. There's not a place on this planet where that energy of God is not. And it doesn't matter whether I call it God or spirit or love or nature, for it represents the entirety of existence. The love and light that I know that exists in my mind. The love and light that I know exists in the mind of all that listen to this prayer, man, woman, or child. All that are part of this spiritual journey, whether in a church, in their living room, or whether they're in a synagogue, it does not matter. Their energy, their collective energy, their mind is part of this creative medium that we talk about. And these seeds that are waiting to be planted here, they're part of this creative mediumship. They're waiting to be planted. They're these manifestations and visions of these possibilities of the infinite abundance that exists for all. For this reality exists that no matter where our journey leads us here, this abundance is there, ready to come into that space, to come out into the open, to be that light, to be that beacon. And I know in this truth that spirit does not want us to be poor or sad or lonely. That the reality of God, of this love and this light here, is that that energy is this beautiful abundance that surrounds us. It's the happiness, it's the joy, it's the clarity, it's the peace, it's the resilience. It's the manifestations, the demonstrations of love that surround us at all times. That is that presence of spirit that I call into this holiday season. And I know that that presence that is there comes to that forefront because this is an area of spiritual consciousness and awakening. That this greater calling to be of this time frame, this pandemic, this year, is the need for more uplifting of consciousness, of awareness, of spiritual practice that's there. And I see that light that exists. It exists within all on this spiritual path. And I just give deep gratitude for being able to see this vision, be able to see these seeds that are waiting to be manifested. And this beautiful light, I do see all the opportunities for abundance of joy, of happiness, of laughter, of creative expression, of divine things being put into form to better this world, to better humanity. And just knowing this vision, seeing this vision, I have deep gratitude for being able to hold this truth. I have deep gratitude for being able to have my heart filled with love and light during this holiday season, for being on this practitioner journey, for being a spiritual warrior in this time, for saying yes, And just knowing these truths, I just simply know nothing else needs to be said. I can just let this prayer go into that universal law of the cosmos, to that law of love and light, knowing exactly what needed to be said has been said, that my heart has been overflowing with this prayer. This intent is there. Nothing else needs to be said. It is done. I simply step back, take a deep breath, just allow myself to be. And when I just release this prayer into the law, knowing it to be so. And I invite you, wherever you are at, to say, and so it is. All right. Beautiful. Well, we ran a little bit over here today, but it's okie dokie with me here. All that matters here is, you know what? It was exactly what needed to be said today here, prayer wise. So much love and light, my friends. I'm going to go ahead and log off for the night. Until I see you guys tomorrow, peace and blessings, my friends. And so it is. Peace.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.